What's poppin', internet? Welcome to a special episode of the Synced Up Podcast, a show where we normally talk about news, games, and sandwich a little fun in between. Today, we're actually going to be doing a bonus thing here, a little bit of impressions content that we decided to start doing. We tried to do it back whenever 3D Mario All-Stars came out, and it went horribly wrong. But we thought it was some of the best content we ever made, so we're back at it, trying to do it again here in November when all the games are starting to come out, because, you know, all of the games are starting to come out. And we figured this was a perfect time. So I'm going to be playing Watch Dogs Legion today, and Mike is going to be asking me questions about it. He hasn't seen much or played any, and I have seen a lot and played some. But before we get into the actual show, a little bit of housekeeping for you. Obviously, you can find us over on your favorite podcasting services for the regular show that we do. And also on YouTube, we have a regular show that goes up every Monday, 7 a.m. Central Time Zone. Gang. I don't think this will be going up in the audio feed. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Also, you can write into the normal podcast, synceduppod@gmail.com. You have any type of thing you'd like us to discuss on the regular show, or you want us to change, maybe some content you want us to do, just overall stuff about our brand, email that in. Maybe we'll read it on the show. Maybe we just read it in private and take that criticism and change some things up. Who knows? Who knows there? But let's just get right into it here. If you want to switch over the thing.
Go ahead and
Kylie, please.
Boot it on up, sir.
All right. So here we are, Watch Dogs Legion. So this game, I got quite a bit to say about this game here.
Yeah.
I think I want to preface it by saying I don't think it's a bad game by any means.
It's just a game. Okay.
But I don't know if I would necessarily say it is a good game.
Yeah.
You know?
I was going to say, what are your very initial thoughts on the game? Because first of all, how far into the game are you?
I'm roughly 4 or 5 hours in,
4 or 5?
think.
Okay. And do you know how long it is?
I checked on the internet, and they were saying on how long to beat 20 to 25 hours for campaign or main plus extras, depending on what you do. So
you've probably unlocked nearly all the functions of the game.
Yeah, for the most part. I can definitely see more stuff coming, because I haven't done I've played 5 or 6 hours, but I haven't done a lot of main line campaign type stuff. Here's one of the first things that I actually want to talk about this game here, this loading screen, if you're watching here. This loading screen is long as fuck, and I feel like that is a problem that this game has for a lot.
Is this just booting up the game, or is it throughout the whole game? Screens like this.
It's a classic Skyrim, where the first boot takes the longest. But when I started playing this game, this loading screen you see so often, between loading in between missions.
God, is it long?
Going back to the home base, we're still waiting here. Maybe I should have loaded it up before we even.
No, I think this help gets the point across.
Before we even get into the actual show proper here.
So I figured before we delve into it, because I know there's a lot of qualms with this game, but do you have any positive takeaways? Some things you've enjoyed about the game so far? There's got to be something.
Let me shoot. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I will say the main positive. Let's do a main mission. I'm just gonna rob this car here.
Okay.
The main thing you notice off the bat, obviously, as an American, is that you got to drive on the opposite side of the road. And
already scuffed.
And that shit is weird, Let me open up the map. Set a
big
marker. Map. It's not that big. I think it's just it's packed.
Okay.
Because obviously it's London here. Oh, I'm just crashing into everything. I think the biggest positive takeaway that I have from the game is the fact that it has. I just killed that pedestrian. This system that the main thing the game is built upon, which is the being able to recruit anybody into your crew or whatever.
Play as anybody, right?
And play as anyone as well. I think that technology is very cool. I just killed a policeman.
You're done though.
This is the first time I've ever got any stars nor seen anything to do with cops.
So new gameplay.
Yeah, this is new gameplay.
So the NPC system.
Yeah.
That's obviously the main selling point of this game. Is what they talk about. Is that it removed NPC from the equation. Mm-hmm. NPC, of course, being a non-playable character, right?
Yeah.
Since you can play as anybody, NPCs don't necessarily exist on the streets of this game. Have you found any reason to disagree with that claim? That you could play as anybody. Is there any restrictions to it? Is it does it feel like they were telling the truth about that? 100%.
For the most part, yes. It's not. Like, I haven't found anybody that I'm not, like, I see I can just go up to this guy and I can hold L or whatever, and it'll pop up his, like, thing here. It's like, oh, and then I can hit the RB button here if I'm getting my ass kicked.
So you have to recruit him first, right?
Yeah, you have to do, like, let me beat this dude's ass real quick. Or maybe he gonna beat my ass.
Oh, you're getting double teamed, bro.
Okay, you can do, like,
Please
some
don't die. I
perfect-
feel like we're gonna have to see the loading screen again if you do.
Bam. Alright, I knocked him out. Let me knock this guy out. Bam.
Is this how they settle in the UK? No guns?
Yeah, no guns.
Straight fists?
No, you got guns in this.
No, okay. No, oh,
Another
they're just
cop?
gonna keep coming for you, dude.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that was slick.
There you go. There you go. So, are we the baddies?
No. In the game it's damn, I just kicked the dude's ass. In the game it sets it up as like you were DedSec if you remember from any of the I'm gonna hack this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember from any of the old Watch Dogs games, like you're like the hacker group that's kind of for the people, kind of like anonymous style thing where it's like, oh, we know the government sucks and is bad, and we're really here just to help the people, you know. That's kind of what it's set up like in the beginning. I don't know what this dude's saying. In the beginning, he like there's this big thing with this big explosion and terror plot to frame DedSec for like killing all of these people and doing all of this stuff in it. I got too far away. And you're trying to stop it. Obviously, you fail to stop it, and then all this stuff happens. And then you got to rebuild DedSec from the ground up. That's why you are able to recruit anybody in the world or whatever.
Okay.
And you can like you have your recruitment missions where like just they seem really kind of like basic and like regular, but even the story missions themselves don't feel like super great. Like I don't feel like they're super awesome, and they feel kind of repetitive, and like they're doing a lot of the same stuff. Here, let me see. Like that shit feels just as clunky as that looked.
Yeah, that looked kind of clunky.
Like so you nothing really feels like great. It all just feels kind of mediocre. And I think if you listen to the kind of funny whatchamacallit review of this game here, they kind of hit the nail on the head. Now I'm just fighting this guy. They kind of hit the nail on the head where it's like it feels old. Like the whole thing feels for the most part archaic in a sense, where it's like all the quality of life stuff that we've gotten from gaming like over the years, it just doesn't really feel like it exists here. Like this little hand-to-hand combat is clunky as hell.
I'm about to say it looks old.
Yeah, it's I'm about to die.
I want to get back to the NPC thing because that's like the main selling point. Is it not redeeming? Is it not
it's
as
cool
good as you wished, or is it just a concept that was executed correctly that just wasn't as cool as we probably predicted it to be?
I think it is just as cool as we predicted that it would be. I just don't think like they use it to try to carry this game, and I don't think that really works that well. Like,
so you think it should be more of like a side feature than the main component of the game?
It can be the main component of the game. I just think maybe you should have delayed the game and pick up some skill points here. That's what those were. I just don't think it should be like you just gotta rebuild the rest of the game. Like honestly, because like the rest of the game, it just feels old. It feels unfinished. It feels just not all that great.
Okay.
And like this is like probably the 10th mission I've done, and they've all just been so identical, you know, like come into one of these areas that has red shit because you're not supposed to be here, take out a few dudes, fucking fight a few dudes, and see like this doesn't make any sense either because like see this guy's seen me, right? But he doesn't alert any of his homies that I'm seeing him, and just like that dude outside, like I was beating on his ass.
So you don't have to get creative with how you tackle these missions.
It doesn't really seem so. Like there seems to be like some limits, because you have like one character is a construction guard and he can use cargo drones, and you have to get on a roof, and the only way to get up there is to use cargo drones. So like you have to use a different kind of character in that sense, but it's still just like it just doesn't feel like I just come in here, I hack a few cameras or I hack a drone and then mark a bunch of enemies on the map and then go through and just run around like this and try to.
Okay, so you started talking about the carpenter guy or the construction worker guy or whatever. Is there a diverse combat when you switch characters? Like, do you feel like you're playing as different characters every time you switch to a different character? Because that was another thing they talked about where like you play as this old lady, you're gonna play like an old lady. Your combat changes, and you'll have to adapt to it.
Yeah.
Is that true, or can you just spam the same buttons you spam with any character?
Well, I've only played as 3 characters, so I haven't played as like some of the extremes, like an old lady or something like that,
Okay.
that you have from the trailers and whatnot. But like, yeah, see, like, look how easy. All I had to do was make his phone ring, and then I just come up, I'll whap him, and I'll run off. So I haven't played as any of those extremes, but from the few characters that I've played, they felt largely pretty much identical. Of just
Okay.
you still ultimately, I don't know how the fuck to get into this room. You still ultimately just come in and you sneak around and you hack some things. Maybe there's a puzzle because there's a door that's locked. And you like what? Like, how the fuck do I get in here?
Break the glass, bro.
Is there a vent that goes in there or something? So I just gotta like hack some shit in here, like this camera. Nope, that's fucking outside. Okay. Here, let me hack this. What's going on?
See, is this confusion that you would normally have playing, or is it because you're also talking at the same time?
Kind of both.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting blasted. Cool.
Damn. So
it's just general confusion all the time, because like when I'm hacking those like little things, like obviously it's hard for me to see, like especially right now because we have all these lights here and I'm kind of far away from the TV, and it's not that good of quality of a TV, because we're broke. I'm dead. That's it.
Damn.
Like it's not that great of
Oh, you're permadead, right?
Yeah, I have permadeath on. I guess I'll play as this guy who's apparently awesome. Did I switch? I don't know. Yeah, I haven't died yet, so I don't know. So obviously it's hard for me to see, but that is something I notice like all the time where like I'm playing and I'm hacking like the fucking the cameras or the drones or whatever, and I'm trying to like look around and see stuff, and I just can't see like all the time, even when I'm sitting really close to the TV. I don't know if it's the color palette. I don't know what it is, but it really just doesn't. He just knocked off Jarvis. It doesn't feel like I can ever really see what I'm trying to do, especially when it comes to like scoping out some place or whatever. Like if like in here when I was on that drone, that was me kind of just swiping the cursor all over the place to try to just touch as many like dudes as possible for them to be permanently marked on my thing.
Okay.
Like that wasn't actually me looking around doing things on purpose. I was kind of just like, I'm gonna swing the camera around a bit, and then that might end up making some dudes pop up on my map, which is like I don't even know what I just
So I have another question. And this kind of pertains to the NPC thing too. But you just died. You permanently lost a character, and it seemed to have no effect on your emotional state of the game.
No, yeah, that
and how you see that character.
That's definitely a major part here.
And so, do you think it takes away from the game by not having a main character that you can, I guess more emotionally relate to or get attached to in some way?
It definitely it makes it hard to like, like when I was talking to Bagley there, and I was just like, oh, he's a knockoff Jarvis. Like I have no like, oh yeah, Bagley. Like there was some stuff that happened in the beginning with Bagley, or whatever, where he's established as like this AI character. I don't know why this guy insists on completely obliterating everyone. What's up, dude? But like all the characters, they're fully voiced and they have personalities and all of that stuff. But yes, definitely the creative decision to.
It never feels like your character.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like when I play Valhalla in a couple of weeks, like I know for a fact I'm gonna be like, oh.
Well, yeah, because you just think you're some of your favorite games of the year.
Yeah.
You are Cloud when you're playing Final Fantasy, or you're Tifa or you're Barret. You get attached to those characters when you play as them. Hades, you are Zagreus, and it's cool. You love seeing how he interacts and grows with other characters in the game. I feel like you probably just don't get that in this game, and that's what makes a lot of games enjoyable, especially when this is it kind of feels like a story-driven game, somewhat. I just feel like there's probably an identity crisis by not making it. I don't know. I feel like you just lose a lot from not having a main character.
No, you most definitely. Oh, yeah.
And like even there's plenty of games with permadeath systems and stuff like that. Thinking back to like Fire Emblem Three Houses, where your students can actually die, and there's like 40 students, but you only have like 12 at the start, and you get really attached to them. You know, you actually grow with the students, because you know there's two parts of that game. There's the combat system,
Mhm.
and then there's the at the school system. You're teaching these kids, you're training with them and stuff like that. So you actually learn to care about these characters, and then when they die, it's actually like, well, shit, I lost someone.
That sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. And this game, it's more like I can just go recruit someone else.
Yeah. I
Like
can
you
get a
can't
new
do
guy.
that in Fire Emblem. So I don't know. I feel like it's a cool concept. Just a lack of care or love behind.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know. It definitely, because like as you've seen, I like kind of died and was just like, whatever. I mean, that's kind of how I feel for the most part with this game, where I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I don't. Like coming in here, I kind of didn't even really sneak that hard and just ran around looking for dudes to take down.
Yeah.
And you can pretty much do that for everything in this damn game. And I don't know how to get into this fucking room, dude.
Okay, so look to your left. That red thing right there. Do you not do anything with that?
No, that's just chilling.
Oh, okay.
I gotta come through this thing.
That vent. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, that's a vent right here. Does it go outside or
Maybe you gotta go on the roof. Are you sure that's not a light fixture?
what? No, it says open close vent
Oh.
right there. I think.
I don't know.
I think that's a vent.
You need better glasses?
No, I just again, I can't fucking see half the time in this goddamn game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how does this game just feel like Watch Dogs in UK? Is the world any different or cooler? You feel like because of the location they chose, or you know the story, the time, or is it just another skin on a Watch Dogs game?
I can't do this shit. I don't know. It doesn't feel that great. Like it doesn't. I don't know if it, because I played Watch Dogs 1, right, and I 100% of that game. And that game, I think, can I get in this? Oh shit, let's go. And that game, as someone who 100%ed it, is not that good, for being completely honest.
No, I think people understand that, but it's still, I think it has more love than this game, or like people enjoy the original one more than this one.
Yeah, this
so
game, I don't know. Maybe we're spoiled at this point as gamers because
100%.
you know we've been playing games as of late in the past 10 or however many years that are so like just so good.
Mm-hmm.
But like this just doesn't feel like in an era where like everything's fucking tens. Forgiving a game for it being like a 6.5 or a 7 is just not. Like it just doesn't feel possible. Like it's just not. It's not there, and it's hard to look past all these things, especially when like the last game I played. What was the last game I played? Shit, I can't even remember. I was playing Cold War Beta, Hades. You know, obviously that game is super good. Rogue Company is extremely fun. I'm not doing that. I'm skipping. And then the last was Part 2, Final Fantasy Part 7. All these games that are just so damn good.
Yeah.
Playing a game like this just doesn't feel that great.
So
and honestly, yeah, I paid $30 for it because of the thing I got with Chance or whatever. But like, I just don't know if I could recommend anyone to buy this game. Like, if you're looking for a style of game like this, which is a very archaic style of game, because like, I think Greg put it perfectly. Of like, I don't know the last time I hijacked someone's car, or I don't know, you know, like doing a GTA type of thing. Because even GTA came out like 7 years ago. So it just doesn't feel like, I don't know if there's room for this type of game in the modern market, or there is room for this type of game, but there's like a lot of modern amenities that need to be added to it. Because even like certain aspects, like,
well, because you think about it, like Mafia 3, right?
Yeah,
it is hijack a car, go drive around, do these things, but it's still beloved, I think, because there's more than just that to the game. You know, there's the characters, you know, and obviously that's the thing that game has in it. It has main characters, it has a good story, you know, and it's more interesting because it's like not current day, you know, it's old school, you're driving old cars, and I think that's what helps that game. This game, you know, it's just GTA with hacking, you know.
Yeah.
From what I'm looking at, and
but even then, it's just not as good as GTA, and it just doesn't. Even like certain aspects, like in GTA, when you're trying to buy clothes or go to the shop or do whatever, you go in there and you like look at the clothes and do all that. Like in this game, you can't even like go into shops. Like you walk up to the door and you like do like window shopping, and then you like stand outside of it and your clothes change.
Yeah,
so
it's
like
kinda whack.
they didn't even really go ham there. Like I imagine the technology they got for like the thing we were talking about with the people and being able to get anybody takes up so much of the CPU or the GPU power that
Probably.
that's why you got to cut those corners. But I just question whether or not it's worth it. Like if that trade-off is very worth it,
Yeah.
because it definitely doesn't feel like it is worth it.
Well, do you at least like London?
I mean, London's cool.
But does it just feel like another map?
You drive on the wrong
Does it
side of the road.
have personality besides just driving on the wrong side of the road?
From the people who lived in London that talk about this game, they'd say it definitely feels like an Americanized version of London.
Yeah.
And as someone who's never been to London, I mean, I assume it feels like London.
Because to me, you could tell me this was, an American game, and if the only difference was driving on the wrong side of the road, I wouldn't be able to tell you it's London.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been either, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like I'm visiting a different place.
No, I don't think so.
It just feels like I'm on another,
Just
I'm
another
playing
one
Need
of
for Speed
these.
Underground or something.
Yeah.
And so that was another thing that I thought was a big proponent of the game. It's like, you're in London, cool.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel that cool.
What about the UK rap? Is that a redeeming quality?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind UK rap.
Interesting.
I mean, you're more of a fan than I am.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's true.
Dig around
So.
and see if you can figure out where they are.
Have you been?
Throwing this over.
Has there even been any inquiry into any of the songs? Have you looked up? Have you been
No.
listening to more UK rap?
No.
So they filled you there too.
Yeah, no. Definitely, definitely have not. This spider bot is so OP though. You just kind of throw it in, do stuff. You call it right back. It just appears in your pockets. Pretty nice. I'm gonna drive in here.
Are we on a story mission right now?
I have no idea. That's, I don't think so. No, I'm
Yeah.
on a recruitment mission. Damn, bro, didn't even get in the car all the way. I'm on a recruitment mission. And
So-
again, these recruitment missions feel just like the main missions. Go to one of these little red parts of the map you're not supposed to be in. Pop up in this bitch. Sneak around, or don't sneak around if you're a madman.
So,
and
you've
then
run
just
over
do some
a
shit.
couple pedestrians and
Yes.
NPCs. Do you
Couple.
think just a few? Are you going to be able to still like recruit them? Do they remember if you run into them? Do you think?
Yeah, that's
You know?
what you seen, that little thumb thing. Like if you beat someone's ass, like they're not gonna like you, and their recruitment mission's gonna be harder. At least that's what I've heard.
Okay. Because I guess they don't want to take away from you being able to recruit anybody, so they just make it harder. I mean,
Yeah, well, everything is procedural. So like, the enemies or the people you are recruiting and whatnot, it's all procedurally generated, which is why I haven't had a chance to get real close. But why the character models look so gross, because
Yeah.
like it's not like handcrafted character models. It's all procedurally generated character models.
It's like random 2K. When you make a character in 2K, you can just randomly re-roll.
Yeah,
to get something
definitely.
that's close to you.
Definitely doesn't feel that great. I'm gonna
Okay.
die here.
Yeah, bro, you're about to lose half your roster.
Just
Well,
gotta heal up.
I guess my last question was, is this game worth it? Which you kind of already went over. But if I know video games, this game's gonna be $20 in
And
6 months.
and that's
Maybe
what
even
I.
less.
That's what I would say is if you're someone who can't afford all, because especially coming up here with the $60 games finna be happening, or the $70 games finna be happening, a time of the year where you got to buy a lot of Christmas presents and stuff. I would say right now, most definitely, unless you got a spare change sitting around like me and Chance did, and we just wanted something to hold us off until Valhalla, and we play a ton of games, and we know we'll find some enjoyment out of this. And obviously, I run a podcast. So obviously buying this is still worth it in some sense because I can sit here and shit on it for content. If you're not one of those type of people, just skip.
Yeah.
Just skip. It's not worth. And come November, you might see this whole $30 just off rip
yeah.
for
Black Friday
Black
sale.
Friday.
It's gonna have the purple sticker, $35, and
I don't know what the.
I see it coming. Do you have any hope for the Watch Dogs IP now?
No. I personally believe, honestly, after this game, that Watch Dogs is
done,
cashed. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna become that staple Ubisoft title that everyone thinks maybe like that yearly or that every other year title where you're getting shit constantly. I personally think there's no chance for that. Oh, that guy's just running. I also personally think that I don't think Ubisoft believes in that either, as per just looking at the release calendar right now, and you have one of the biggest games of the year, a Ubisoft game, Valhalla, coming out just like a week and a half after this one, a Ubisoft game, and to release them on top of each other is reminiscent of Titanfall 2 back in the day, to release Dishonored and Titanfall 2, or Dishonored 2 next to, well, I can't remember what it was, but Titanfall 2 next to Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
And so that just screams to me a lack of belief or something. And honestly, if it's about money, which I think it could definitely be about money, I think this game will sell, and that's because it's gonna drop in price by 50%.
Yeah,
come 2 months from now, 1 month from now, and it's
go
still the
Black
holiday
Friday
season.
shopping, you see this game out there, a brand new game for $35. You know, someone's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, I wanted to try this, and now it's $30, and then you get more sales that way, just by selling it at all.
And it's still the holiday season, so shit's just gonna sell regardless. But it, dude, my pistol is a non-lethal pistol. I can't be shooting drones.
How much more are you gonna play this game?
Honestly,
after
this video, I might not play this game ever again.
Tragic.
Like, I really genuinely don't think I will play it again unless I'm bored at some point. I mean, we get Valhalla in 9 days.
Yeah.
I get the Xbox in 9 days. And then 2 days after that, we're getting Miles Morales, and we're getting
a lot of games.
A lot of
Cyberpunk
games.
comes down the pipeline. You know, and I think Chance probably said it best when talking about this game. I believe he said $30 for Gamerscore.
Yeah,
Which for him, not bad.
Yeah, he loves himself some Gamerscore.
So he
that's
can
for
run
sure.
around, probably do some missions and get 50 Gamerscore here and there. And
What is that guy?
it'll keep him more busy than playing some other trash games.
Yeah.
So at least he'll find enjoyment there.
I'm supposed to be leaving? What did I even come here and do?
Yeah, recruit someone?
Did I just have to kill somebody?
Dude, I don't know.
Alright, I guess I'm dipping.
So overall disappointment. Sad to see it.
But I still wouldn't say this game's terrible.
Would you put it on your disappointment list? Because I believe it was last week we talked about, or maybe the week before, we talked about some games we were disappointed by. You know, it was hard to think of some, but I think you have one now.
Yeah, this most definitely would be on a disappointed list, not because the game is bad, but because it just didn't meet the expectations that I had for it.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's low-key, there's a silver lining. That's good for me because I drafted it as a counter pick in the fantasy draft, which means if it would have performed super well, I guess I would have lost a bunch of points. So I only ended up losing like 3 instead of the 15 possible I thought I was going to lose.
Well, we'll take those.
But yeah, this is Watch Dogs Legion, everyone. If you were super hyped and really wanted to play it, I don't think like it's not worth picking it. Like maybe like if this was your franchise and you love the Watch Dogs series, maybe you'll find enjoyment here and pick it up if you want.
Or just replay the first one.
Or no, skip the first one and play 2.
Yeah,
play 2.
replay the second one.
But yeah, it just doesn't feel like it quite meets the mark.
Damn.
Not quite. I'm gonna.
Well,
blast
you
this
got
dude.
plenty of games to redeem this season. Rough start for, well, I guess it was October when this came out, but you know, I consider it the same holiday season. On the other hand, I have Pikmin 3.
You do?
I do. I own it. I'm 20 minutes in, and already better than this one. You know.
And I think that goes to show the quality of this game. We're in a Watch Dogs video talking about Pikmin 3.
Yeah. This game has no personality.
No,
you
it
know?
really doesn't. But yeah, that's all I want to do. I don't want to play this shit any longer.
All right.
That's it. If you want to switch the thing back to the other one, the Y, which do? What was that face, Kylie? What happened?
Pause. Did you run the intro again?
Oh, you ran the intro? You could just click it again. It'll turn it off.
Is
That
the
we're on
intro
again?
over?
Okay.
Hmm.
Let's get the intro in the middle of the pod. Did you switch us back to the other? The
Okay.
wide? Okay. Yeah, so if I guess the consensus is if you have any inkling that you might want to play this game,
No.
don't do it. If you really wanted to play this game, go ahead and do it, I guess. If you
But
got
to be
spare
fair, if
money,
you
but-
really wanted to play this game, you probably were already going to get it.
Yeah, then
This
you're
game
not
is for
watching
the
this
people
video.
who are on the fence.
Yeah.
And it's a no.
And I think you should come back to the fence that doesn't have this game on that side. Personally,
come to where the grass
personally.
is greener.
Yeah.
Pick up Pikmin 3 instead.
well, I don't know about that. That remains to be seen.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it on the pod this week. which
will.
we're going to record right after this, matter of fact. But that's it for this Watch Dogs impressions video. It was nowhere near as good as the Mario impressions video,
But I
it's
think
Mario.
Mario's a lot more fun to talk about.
That's for damn sure. But thank you for watching this bonus episode of the Synced Up podcast, which I think we're just going to call Synced Up Impressions personally. I already made the damn thumbnail. That's definitely what we're calling it. Thank you for doing that. Again, we have the regular main podcast that you can listen to on your favorite podcasting feed, or that you can also still watch here on the YouTube channel. And if you want to listen to it in podcast form, just search up Synced Up Podcast. Look for the blue and white logo. Don't really have a link for that because there's a lot of favorite podcasting services out there.
There is.
But we are going to record the show proper to get that ready to upload on Monday, 7 a.m. Central Time Zone, gang. Until then, we will see you
Y'all
guys
have
in
a
the
great
next
night.
one. Goodbye.